Yo, 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 what's up? This is John from Judge Innovation Girls in the Peach Capital of the State, baby. All right, boys and girls. I think this is part 5 or part 4. All right, so I rolled my paper back, but it kind of lifted up a little bit, but it ain't no big deal because I'm going to feather edge the edge. But I was a little concerned with the old paint. It smells like standox. And you got thermoset and thermoplastic. So I feathered edged. I went around and feather edged the whole edge with. I went to 120, 180, then I went to 220, then I went to 320, or excuse me, 220, and then I stepped out and then sanded the whole top with 600. All right. So my concern was there is nothing under this paint except either primer or epoxy. I'm not sure which one it is. I'm thinking it's primer maybe. So when I pulled the seam sealer out, you got that hard edge from where the paint was on top of the seam sealer, and when I cut it, you got that hard edge. I could take my fingernail and pick it, like just pick the color off, right? That concerned me. That's an adhesion problem. So I feather edged the hard edge back, and then down in that crack, I done it by hand, with my little taco block. I went in there and feather edged it back. Then I took thinner and I went and cleaned the track out. All right. When I cleaned the track out, there was no sanding dust on it, right? No sanding dust on it. A little bit of color was on the rack. So that concerned me as well, because you got thermoset and thermoplastic, right? I'm like, okay. So now you got the old paint and old primer that's on there, and you got that broken edge, right? So you got the bare bones, right? And then you got the edge where the primer is. Then you got the edge where the color is, and then you got the edge of clear. So there is, I don't know how many coats of clear. Let's just say maybe one or two coats of clear at most. Then you have the paint, which is maybe 1 or 2 coats of paint, and then you got the primer, which is maybe 1 coat of primer. All right, so I sprayed the epoxy CRE 321. I lightly dusted it to see what it's going to do. Right, I'm going to show you here in a second. I lightly dusted it. I waited 20 minutes to see what it's going to do. And then it didn't do anything. So I put another coat on there, and I waited 20 minutes, and I put another coat on there. I put 3 coats of epoxy, right? And I mixed it 2 to 1 to 1, and I sprayed it on there, right? I let it set for, I don't know, an hour. I just now turned the heat on in the booth, but I've been doing some other stuff, and I want to show you, this was my concern. So I'm hoping that it stops. I'm hoping I'm going to let the epoxy dry completely out. I'm going to come back around. I'm going to feather edge the epoxy back out, and then I'm going to see what it does. But I'm going to show you I'm going to just show you, okay? You see right there? You see the edge? You see it right there? You see that? That is where the solvents have creeped under the old primer, the old paint, and the clear, and has lifted it up. It loosened it up. It's what they call a wrinkle. Well, this shouldn't wrinkle because this truck's been painted. Again, I didn't do any of this to this truck. Somebody sent me a message and said, I can't believe you put that caulking on top of that truck. And then I'm thinking to myself, I can't believe you don't know how to read. I mean, but I didn't say that, but I'm saying that now. I mean, reading comprehensive is an amazing thing, but see right here, you see where it's lifting up right there. That concerns me. That's always a problem when you're going over something that's pre-existing. You don't know what it's going to do. You know what I mean? You don't know. You know, the hood and the tailgate are brand new. You know, so excuse me for that. The hood and the tailgate's brand new. So I know what's there from ground up. You don't know what's on this, and you don't know how the products that you're putting on it is going to react to it. It might be fine. It might crawl off. It might stay on there for 10 years, or it might stay on there for 10 minutes. But I'm going to show you right here. I'm going to show you right. See that right there? Now, that was a soft edge. I had feathered this all the way out. Now it's broken. You know, it's open. It's exposed. So when I put the epoxy down, the solvents went down inside and linked up. But for some reason, right there, it wrinkled the edge. It didn't do it everywhere. It just done it in certain spots. Some spots are good. Some spots are not. So that's my problem. So the best thing to do is just leave her be. Let her do what she's going to do. CRE 321 epoxy is some very, very good stuff. So I'm hoping, like I say, I got the heat on. It's about 80 degrees in there now. I'm going to shut the big door. I'm hoping that once all this cures out, I'm going to come back and I'm going to sand all this and I'm going to feather edge it. And then, like I say, I'm going to let this dry, like completely dry out. You can see where it's already drying. I'm going to let this completely dry out, and then I'm going to get back on it, and I'm going to see what happens. Because if I get on it and I hammer on too much, then the problem's going to be that I'm going to have bigger problems. So I'm hoping that the epoxy will lock it down, and then once the epoxy is cured or dried out where I can get back on it, then I'm going to go do what I need to do. But somebody's probably going to be on here and they're going to say, oh, you put too much on there. You hammered it on there. You created. I didn't see you nowhere in here. So I'm a little salty today. So I didn't see nobody in here. And it's just the nature of the beast. But like I said, it didn't do it everywhere. It just done it in some places. So I'm going to let this cure out. Like I say, right here, you see right there where see where it lifted up right there. It did good there. It lifted up there. It's starting to lift right there a little bit. You see that where it's starting to lift. So it is what it is. But again, like I said, I'm going to, I got the heat on. I got the fan, this little fan on, going to circulate some heat. And then I'm going to let that bake. Like I said, I'm going to let that get some good bakeness. And then I'm going to go up here and clean the Mustang's engine, because we got it scheduled for October 7th to cut it and buff it. Me and my buddy Brian from Crisco's Body Shop, we're going to jump on that thing like a duck on a June bug, and we're going to knock that thing out. We're going to get it done, and then we'll go from there. But I appreciate you. Hit the subscribe button. Let me know. Drop something in the comments. Let me know what you got going on. And again, I don't understand people. They'll look at something, they go, well, I can't believe you done that. And then I go, I can't believe you don't know how to read. I mean, I see it everywhere. Everyone online, somebody will post something and they'll ask a bunch of questions and something, and then people will comment, and then you think to myself, they didn't even read. They just looked at the picture or the video. And it's not very, very, I don't know. But anyways, here's the Mustang. It's 2 weeks now since it's been painted. So it's curing on out. I can still smell solvents. I want to give a shout out to my subscriber that showed up yesterday. And it's G-Body. Everybody loves G-Bodies. I'm hoping we can make something work on that thing. But I appreciate you. Remember I said, hit the subscribe button. And don't worry about the man up road or down the road. Sweep off your own front porch while it's sweeping off anybody else's. Put God first. Let loose and drag. Peace, love, and chicken grits. I'm out.